I'm Sith King.
And I'm Sonic Sons.
We're the Rambling Reviewers.
And today we're looking at My Hero Academia, the first 2 seasons.
Also known as Boku no Hero Academia, if you're weird.
Or Japanese.
I think we've established by now that the Japanese are weird. Look, I'm going to give 2 words, and this is going to prove that they're weird. Tentacle hentai. It's not nothing to do with this.
Nothing to do with this.
I'm just saying, you don't see Americans making tentacle hentai. Okay, well.
Now you do, maybe, because of all the Japanese.
Yeah, but they started it.
That's a great way to start this review.
0 seconds. That's how quick it took us to go completely off the rails. Oh, Lord God, help me. Okay, so we got this request from someone at some point.
Oh, frick, that's right. Who made the request? I should go look that up while you talk.
Oh, God damn it. So, honestly, this is probably my new favorite anime that is currently going on.
Yeah,
I have to give the qualifier because, you know, Gurren Lagann is amazing.
Yes.
And I really do not think that anything can really beat Robotech in my mind. But that's just nostalgia talking. Because it was a quite flawed production. And One Punch Man was pretty good.
One Punch Man, you know, we said in our review.
You shut your damn whore
mouth.
Alright,
fine. But this has got a lot more, you know, variety to it. A lot more characters.
Yeah. One thing I do have to complain about, though, it's the spiritual successor to Naruto.
Well, it's better than Naruto.
But it's the spiritual successor to it, so it shares a lot of similar themes and plot points. Like, I'll point out, like, point for point as we go on with this story thing, what points are similar, but, yeah. Well, I mean, I used to like Naruto, and then god damn it, they got into the, you need to forgive people. No, this bastard started Ninja War 5 or whatever.
Yeah.
When you start a war, I'm willing to forgive. I am a reasonable man. But there's a problem when you're asking me to don't take it out on the bastard who started World War V.
Yeah.
Okay, but let's...
Oh, yeah, I got it. Wolfgang Cloud recommended that we watch My Hero Academia. And there may have been other people who also recommended that, but this is the one I'm getting right now.
Oh, and it was, funnily enough, on the One Punch Man.
It was on the One Punch Man review. Okay, well, thank you, Wolfgang. We actually did watch the first 2 seasons.
Yep, I haven't seen the 3rd season yet because that ain't out yet, but here we go. So it turns out that in the year... next Sunday
AD.
Next Sunday AD, a baby will be born with glowing skin. For no real reason, we actually learn.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's the same reason the X-Men came into being. Mutation happened for some reason. Just go with it.
They actually came up with a reason for that in the Ultimate Universe. It turns out that the X-Men were not natural. It was the result of an escaped virus that was based on the Super Soldier Serum.
Oh.
See, one thing I do like about Ultimates, as well as, well, it used to be the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and now My Hero Academia, it's what I call a single-source superhero world. Or a S3.
Yes, single source superhero.
Yeah, that basically means that it's not a fantasy kitchen sink. Oh, don't get me wrong, I love fantasy kitchen sinks. Because where else can you see giant robots fighting Cthulhu? Not to self, where can I find that?
Oh, that could be like a new video game or something.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess Pacific Rim, but, you know.
Yeah. It's more like Godzilla than Cthulhu. There's little details in there.
Yeah, but still, they come from a secret portal that's for another universe under the Pacific Ocean. That's Cthulhu enough for... Let's move on from there. A single source world is where all of the powers, all of the abilities, all the things that make people special are from one thing. Meaning that if it's that one thing... That's what the source is.
And it gives the story a better source of, or a better sense of coherency, basically.
Yeah, it's the same... It's why I was so upset with Wakanda in Black Panther, and no, I'm still not over that. They have this source of powers, but they just didn't show up. It leaves you wondering, why don't these people go over here and help these other people? You know?
Yeah, well, there's all sorts of weird things. Like, why didn't, this happen to that person or whatever?
Yes, exactly. But more importantly here, it means that things can be simplified. in the Ultimates universe, I don't know if this is still true, but it used to be that all the superpowers came from the super soldier serum.
Or his parallel efforts to make a similar thing. Yeah.
Yes, that's where the Hulk came from. That's where mutants came from. Sorry. Dust. In the Marvel Cinematic Universe, it used, before Avengers came out, all of the power and abilities came from the Infinity Stones, and more directly from Asgardian technology. Except for the Hulk, but I'm not 100% sure about that.
I think he just did his own experimenting, but okay, maybe in tie-in comics or something they made it Asgardian somehow.
Yes, but like Tony Stark's power came from reverse-engineered energy generators from his dad's studies of the cosmic cube, and that sort of a thing.
Now, in this case, though, there isn't... I mean, the single source is basically the single handwave of Quirk showed up for some reason, like X-Men style.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm just saying that you don't have to worry about, okay, so the main characters are walking down the street and then Atlantis invades with demons.
Right, yeah, or suddenly a magic user shows up or something.
Which is, I was going for that, but yeah, magic users won't pop up. You won't see cyborgs run. Okay, you might see cyborgs running around. It's kind of hard to tell where technology exactly is in this universe. Mm. And part of that is because it's been 300 years and technology is roughly there where we are today. We later learned that this is partially the result of basically a massive civilization-ending war that happened.
So this is like post-apocalyptic, technically.
Yeah,
it mostly doesn't look that way.
It's post-apocalyptic in the sense that Star Trek is post-apocalyptic.
Right, so post, yeah.
Yes. I mean, of course, after the eugenics wars in World War III and blah, blah, blah.
God.
Yeah, that was it.
There.
Okay, so interesting note about quirks. That's not the official term.
Oh.
Like, it is, but it isn't. Originally, the kanji or romanji or whatever the fuck it's called for quirk is actually that of individuality.
Oh.
So, like, a person's individual nature. However, that was it got mistranslated, and everyone liked it so much, it was like, oh, let's use that, because it sounds different.
So quirk is basically the word for superpower, and everyone's got, well, not everyone, but most people have a quirk.
About 80% of people have a quirk of some sort. And yes, this does mean superpowers. I mean, superheroes and supervillains, because people are jerks. Oh, wait, that's my microphone. I didn't know you had your own blue snowball.
Oh, now we're really getting off topic. Yes, we have two blue snow... in case you were wondering what microphone we were using all this time, folks, now you know.
Okay, see, well, I was wondering why it was twisting like it was, and I was just confused because I didn't remember that breaking on mine.
Yes, so there was a prior drama just before we turned this on. He wasn't sure how to twist the thing correctly because it was a different microphone the whole time. Anyway...
yes, so 80% of the world has quirks, and the greatest hero of all is All Might, who might be my new favorite anime hero.
Yeah, he's cool. He's cool. He's
just because he breaks so many anime rules of what a hero is supposed to be and look like.
That's right.
I read from an interview with the author that he showed his sketches of what All Might was supposed to look like to his friends. They said that he should bishify him, make him slimmer, make him longer, blonder hair, more feminine, more like what a Japanese ideal of a hero is supposed to be. He responded by bulking him up even more.
Yes.
Because fuck you!
And I like it for the contrast. Bishies can be good and all, but this is just unapologetically bulky guy, and he's cool about it.
I grew up on Saturday morning cartoons. My idea of a hero is six-pack for days, son. Six-pack for days. Biceps bigger than my head.
Yeah.
Rambo.
Yeah.
Schwarzenegger. Those are the guys who are the heroes.
And you know what? He's got this unabashed cheerfulness about him, too.
Oh my god, I love that.
Which is something we missed going back to our first review, right? Man of Steel. And we're like, hey, this is Superman, but why is he so, angsty all the time? And it just doesn't feel inspiring. This is a guy who does the whole inspiring bit. Hi, I'm here to help. And it doesn't come across as cheesy.
Everything is okay. Why? Because I am here. That is a thing he actually says.
Yeah.
And it's inspiring when he says it, even though it's really dumb when you think about it. It's just so arrogant. But when he says it, it's just a statement of fact. Like, oh yeah, of course everything's going to be fine because I'm here.
And part of why this doesn't come across as cheesy is we get to learn a little bit more about All Might. And it turns out he is...
Oh, no, let's
all right, we'll do it in order.
Another thing that is important to note about this story, a lot of Japanese superheroics tend to follow, normal anime standards of what makes a hero. Alucard, basically, you're kind of bishy-ish guy. Inuyasha. But this, My Hero Academia, is a deliberate take on Western-style superheroics done in an anime.
Yeah, that gives it more of a... uniqueness to it, yeah.
Oh, yeah. One thing that I'm not really fond of in Japanese superheroics is that, with the exception of stories that are deliberately homaging Western-style superheroics, like One Punch Man, they tend to be fairly similar. Part of that is the Japanese, I'm not going to say love for conformity, but their fictional trends tend to conform more towards conformity. That sounded better in my head.
As opposed to conforming against conformity, which is very hard to do.
Well, yes, but and it's reflected a little bit in their culture. Uniforms. Uniforms. I swear I had more examples of this.
No, don't worry about it. The point is that, this is probably true of any industry, though, in the entertainment world. We like to just copycat whatever seems to be working. So they found some things that work pretty well for them, and they've been doing it over and over, just as here in America there's some things that we've been doing over and over. But now to see some American things with the Japanese take, again, makes it more unique.
So the story begins with Izuku Midoriya, or Midoriya Izuku. Midoriya. Fuck it, we're gonna swap names.
Alright, I'll go find out. Anyway, guy.
No. That is his name. I know it's his name. Oh. You don't need to look for it. Well, I'm just saying that because I'm going to swap names occasionally.
Yeah.
So just preparing the audience to know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Got it.
He wants to be just like All Might, his greatest hero.
And the greatest hero, but also his own personal idol.
Yes. Personally, I would have gone for Green Lantern, but whatever.
My quirk is that I happen to have gotten this ring from a crashed alien spaceship.
Oh my god.
That's not a quirk.
It's quirky.
Yeah.
Well, see, Midoriya Izuku has a small problem. He has an extra toe joint. No, this is actually a problem, because the genetics that are linked between that are also linked to the gene that says, you don't got no stinking quirk. You have no powers. Nothing to make you special. You're just human. And in a world where everyone has superpowers, that's not a great thing. Although it doesn't really make a difference in the modern world because, well, the law is that you can't use your powers outside unless you're a child or you're a professional hero. I'm assuming that there's also, like, gyms and stuff that allow you to test your quirks.
Yeah, I should hope so. I don't want to suppress that forever.
Well,
it'd just be boring.
Okay, well, I also read this in an interview with the author, that it was just a heavy-handed punishment laid down in the wake of, like, everything going to hell. Yeah. As a way of saying, okay, this way we don't have to debate, okay, is it more okay for you to boost your way down the street by, like, using your exploding hands, or is it okay to, like, pick up a can with your powers?
Yeah, I understand.
So they just threw a blanket label over it.
It's also makes things a lot easier for the writers. When you ever have a crowd scene, you don't have to be like, okay, 100 people in this shot, they all have different quirks, how do they all react? It'll just be like this crazy splatter of color, people doing different things in different directions and teleporting and, what the hell is going on? It'd be like static, it'd be colorful static. So yeah, skip that.
Okay. So, yeah, but Izuku still wants to be a pro hero, even though he doesn't have superpowers.
For a while, he's hoping to develop one, right? Like,
yeah. So what this immediately tells me is that there's no heroes like the Ted Cord Blue Beetle or...
Batman.
Okay, I was trying to go a little more without going Batman.
Ted Cord Blue Beetle.
Ted Cord Blue Beetle, Black Widow, Hawkeye. No, every single hero that we see, or Tony Stark.
Oh yeah, that's a good example.
Yeah, no heroes exist without powers. I mean, sure, you could go the whole police and the fire department are our heroes, and look, I deeply respect the police and the fire department. But we're not talking about them because we're talking about superheroes, so you can shut up. So there's no unpowered heroes. Everyone has powers. And it's then that we're introduced to fucking Bakugo. That is the only proper way to say fucking Bakugo's name.
Yeah.
To add fucking in front of fucking Bakugo. This guy is the single most insufferable anime character I have ever seen. I'm not kidding here. I've seen a bunch of anime. I literally cannot think of someone who was more unpleasant without being outright evil.
I gotta say, he does sometimes get... What was I say? He was kind of getting annoying for me, and then he kind of got to, like, love to hate him territory. It was funny watching him just be that ridiculous all the time. Because he's just constantly pissed. Like, you think Vegeta is constantly pissed, but this guy's actually shouting all the time.
Look, I think that he goes way too far all the time. I mean, just, like, he exists on the far side of the ridiculous line. Because I was where you were. Like, I was like, okay, it's kind of fun to watch him. And then it got to, like, oh god, this is his entire character.
Yeah.
And he doesn't develop... Okay.
Well, we're going to touch on that at the end, because there's a little bit of something at the end of Season 2 that I liked.
Okay, so what... We're first introduced to him by saying he's Izuku's childhood friend, which means that Izuku is going to stick with him no matter how terrible and toxic he is. And boy, he gets terrible and toxic fast, because he comes up to Izuku, grabs Izuku's notebook, which is his only comfort in the world, because he's bullied for not having powers. So Izuku keeps these extremely detailed notes on every hero he sees. How their powers work, on how they could be exploited better, tactics. Yeah. It's his whole life, and the thing that means more to him than anything else. Bakugo, his oldest friend, again, childhood friend and oldest friend, walks up to him, tells him he's an asshole and a moron, grabs the book, sets it on fire with his power, which is creating explosions from his hands, throws it out the window into a pond, then tells him to kill himself. This is not me exaggerating. This is me reporting exactly what happens.
That is...
You told a depressed kid to kill himself.
Yeah, that's evil.
And that's the reason why I can never really like him.
Honestly, yeah, I had kind of skipped over those details. I was like, Bakugo was a jerk in some way in the past, and I forget now because we move on to the rest of the plot.
And, you know, that I might have forgiven him if he changed and grown a little bit and said, you know, I'm sorry for what I said, but I still fucking hate you. Except there's a small flaw with that particular allowance that I'm granting. He doesn't!
Yeah. No, you know, a manga you might like a lot better is called A Silent Voice, which is about bullies learning that they're jerks and learning to apologize.
Okay, I'm not necessarily all for, oh, bullies need to apologize. I'm saying if you're going to make this guy a main character, you already have an uphill battle with this guy. You just turned it into...
a 90-degree climb.
A 90-degree climb covered in barbed wire and sniper emplacements to try to like this character. I was already not disposed to like him, but I figured, oh, this guy could be salvageable.
Yeah.
Then he told a depressed kid to kill himself.
Yeah, that's not cool.
I'm sorry. That's not okay.
That's not okay. I agree.
Jesus Christ. Look, Japan, I know that you're not that great with mental health issues. I know that you have a culture of silence. I mean, admittedly, America also has one too, but we have therapists. God damn it, people. This kid should have been sent off to juvie once he said, you should kill yourself. God. You know what his superhero name is? Lord Explosion Murder.
Which is the sort of thing...
His catchphrase is, I'm going to kill you. This guy is more unstable than the Joker in some incarnations. Some. Definitely not all.
Not all, but some.
God.
Yeah, he does seem like villain material, and he's still on the hero side somehow.
For no reason.
Yeah.
We're not even given a reason why he wants to be a hero.
Huh.
He never says, I want to be a hero because X. I have a little brother that I'm trying to get the money for. I'm trying to live up to an ancestor of mine that was a great hero.
I mean, he's obsessed with his own personal sense of power, and therefore deeply embarrassed when
anyone beats him.
When anyone beats him, or when anyone rescues him, I was about to say. That was an early on thing with Izuku. So it's a pride matter for him.
Zuko didn't have this much pride. Worf doesn't have this much pride.
You're right.
The pride from the Lion King wasn't this much pride. This guy is a bastard, and I fucking hate... Okay, but we've spent a bunch of time commenting on how Bakugo is a filthy waste of human excrement.
We're 20 minutes in, wow.
Okay, so Izuku starts walking home, and he runs afoul of Hedorah. No, I'm serious. This is Hedorah, the slime monster from Godzilla versus the Slime Monster. It looks exactly like him, and the monster starts trying to kill him, and then All Might shows up.
Ta-da!
Dun 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 dun. I can't do the music.
That's okay.
He punches the monster and shoves him into a Coke bottle because, again, this is the series that's "This is not made up" was basically the tagline. Izuku gets rescued. He says, "Oh my God, sign my book." "I already signed your autograph book." "Oh my God, they already signed my autograph book."
He's just that kind of hero. You'll actually make the fans feel good too.
So All Might jumps away because he can't fly. He's like the Superman XP for this universe, but he's not like a Superman XP.
Like original Superman couldn't fly either.
Okay, so this is more like original Superman. Except Izuku is still clinging onto his leg, and they land on the top of a building, and it's revealed All Might's true dark secret. He's actually Granny Goodness!
No!
Oh, no. God, no. That... Note to self. Okay.
That'd be a weird fan fiction. No. But the actual secret revealed is that he doesn't spend all day in that muscly form.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. He took an injury a while back.
About 5 years ago.
5 years ago. And now he could only do his power mode for limited times. Otherwise, he's extremely scrawny and
he looks like a skeleton. He looks like a mummy without the wrappings.
All right. And I was going to say earlier, this is one of the bits that makes All Might interesting as a character, not just sort of a generic hero, is that he has this weakness about him, and he has to, like, deal with that fact and explain that to his biggest fan and everything. It's just, it's neat to see that dichotomy in there.
Okay. So Izuku asks, "Hey, All Might, can I too be a hero even if I don't have powers like that base form of yours?" All Might says, "No, you can't be a hero." Well, that just crushed his spirits, so Izuku goes home, finds Bakugo being attacked by the slime monster, tries to rescue him even though he has no powers. That is what is known as bravery, folks. Even though you know there's a chance you could die horribly, you're going in to save the day. And this inspires All Might to overcome his limits, turn back into All Might from his scrawny form, and save the day once again. He then says, "Congratulations, you have inspired me a lot, because none of these other fuckers tried to save a child." Okay. But the point is, Izuku's really inspiring, and it turns out that All Might's power is not specifically super strength. I mean, it's part of it, but,
There's another component, yeah.
Yes. So what he needs Izuku to do is train. Next episode is basically Izuku training physical strength.
Doing the whole Rocky thing.
Yeah. Da-da-da-da-da. But, okay. Interesting quirk about this series. Anytime there's a location, look at it carefully.
It's always named after Star Wars.
It's a Star Wars pun, done in, like, bad Japanese.
Yeah.
Like, they live in the Mustafar district, Mustafar. There is a Tatooine station, Tatooine. There's a Keshi.
Yeah, there was something, we were like wondering, is that like Kashyyyk maybe? And then the later shot, it just says Wookiees right on the side, and we're like, oh, wow, that makes it obvious.
Okay, it's Kashyyyk, yeah, it's Kashyyyk. It's Kashyyyk, guys. Their high school is named Orudara Middle School. Sorry. It's a middle school, not a high school. Sorry, I consumed it. Which is Alderaan.
Alright. Okay.
Anyways, All Might, then, after he's strong enough, All Might tells him that his power is called One for All, and that it's a special quirk that can be transferred from person to person. Each person that it passes through, it gains their strength and adds it to its own. And then, so each generation of One for All is stronger and stronger and stronger. He needed to train Izuku because if he got that power right now, he'd basically shred himself.
Yeah.
But then it's time for the exams to get into UA, the hero academia of the title.
What does U even stand for?
University?
University Academia? Is that what they're called?
I don't know.
Alright.
Mostly people just call it UA, and to the point where it's even spelled Y-U-U-E-I in English.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't even... It's not even like a Star Wars name, you know? That doesn't make sense.
Anyway. But he shows up for the tryouts, and he's got this power, but not quite yet, because it's still, like, cooking inside of him. And there's actually a very long journey of Izuku's to, like, figure out how to use his power. How to manifest it at all, and then how to use it without breaking his own arms, which he does a lot. And by the end of Season 2, he's much more adept at it. So that's neat. That gives us something to work with.
Okay, so the exam is kill all these robots. And in the background, we see a bunch of people killing robots. Izuku manages to kill none of them. Except for one, which is called the Zero Pointer.
Oh yeah, you get no points for killing that one.
Yeah, even though it's the size of an Evangelion.
Yep.
Seriously, why are you not bringing this out more often? It is a giant monster thing. Izuku destroys it in one hit, but he basically liquefies one of his arms and both of his legs using the power of his. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So he winds up in Recovery Girl's office frequently. Who has the superpower is of if she kisses you, it speeds up your natural recovery time. So she's the nurse.
Yeah, obviously.
So Izuku got 0 points on killing robots, but it turns out that that's not all that was being graded. He actually saved several people. And
he gets rescue points, yeah.
Which aren't announced for reasons. I guess they don't want...
They want to see if you're a good enough person to care when there aren't points on the line.
Or to rescue the president. No, it's a bad enough dude.
Yeah, bad enough dude to rescue the president. Yeah. So he gets into UA, and we meet a whole bunch of other people who all have interesting quirks, and I like how the powers are different than what I've seen before, and how people keep finding clever ways to use them.
Exactly.
That is very important.
Definitely one of the show's strengths is that it's not just, oh, here is the fast guy, here is the strong guy, here is the smart guy. There's a lot of different ways to use the different powers, and it's really kind of interesting. What's even better is that the background characters of the class, they have their own characteristics and personality. They're not just generic copy-paste of generic high school student number 15.
Yeah, you get to, like, you be familiar with, oh, there's that guy with the tail again. I wonder what his name is. And they do actually, like, point it on screen now and then.
Yeah, oh, okay, there's the Mineta kid, who you will learn to hate because his only character trait is he's short, looks like a baby, and is perverted as hell.
Yeah, I would hardly call him background. He shows up a lot.
Yeah, he's actually one of the author's favorite character to draw.
I see.
I kind of suspect that he might be doing the thing where he's deliberately rebelling against what everyone wants.
I see.
That's just personal, though, you know. Of course, Bakugo, the waste of human space,
is in his class. Yeah.
Because it's the best class ever's. He quickly makes friends in Ida and Uraraka. Ida comes from a long line of heroes, and he idolizes his brother, who has the power of he has engines in his legs.
Yeah, so he is the fast guy, in fact.
Yeah, so how do quirks
But they put actual engines in his legs somehow.
So how does what part of genetics says, okay, you know, we could have, like, you know, immunity to HIV, we could have all sorts of neat stuff. No, let's put an engine in there. How does that even work?
It does make it more visually interesting than just, like, the Flash running around on regular legs.
Okay, but like, how does genetics make that happen?
I don't know how it works. No, it doesn't make any sense physically. But, oh well. So he's the class rep type. He's very dedicated to what he does and following the rules and speaking kind of formally and doing it right all the time.
There's a reason why I quite frequently say this is how the humans do things, correct? When he talks.
Yeah.
Because he's like a robot that doesn't quite get how these humans work. Interestingly enough, his voice actor would in the future go on to be Genos from One Punch Man.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah. So it shows that. I mean, you know. The other Uraraka is an okay character. She's developed enough that I don't mind her as much. But the problem with her is that she's pretty blatantly there as a love interest for Ms. Midoriya.
Yeah.
Which, I don't like that when someone is there specifically because...
Well, I would say
Oh, they make her much more rounded.
Yeah.
I'm just complaining in general how they say, okay, this person is absolutely in love with the main character.
Yeah.
They should be together. To which I say, no, let the
relationship develop at its own speed if it develops at all.
Exactly.
Yeah, I can see that.
Besides, I always thought that he looked cuter with Suyu, the frog girl.
Oh, yeah, so
Suyu is probably my favorite character. One of my favorite characters in the entire class. Her quirk is frog. That is her quirk. She does whatever a frog can do.
Yep.
She can vomit up her own stomach, secrete an acidic mucus, spew out her tongue like 30 feet.
And jump around.
Yeah.
And swim.
Yep. She is amazing and I love her.
Yeah, she's fun.
Okay, so, yeah.
So, I guess we must have to list freaking everybody because it'll take too long.
Oh, God, no.
The point is that he starts off at the academy, and their teacher is Eraserhead guy.
Eraserhead's kind of got a cool power. As long as he's looking directly at you, he can erase your quirk if it's an active use quirk. If your quirk is, I have stone skin, my skin is literally made of rubber, then it doesn't work. But, like, you know, he's good as a stealth Batman type hero.
Yeah, he's strategic that way.
Mm-hmm.
So they go through some initial trials, and like Izuku has to, throw a baseball really far and stuff like that, and try to not fail any of these tests because otherwise he'll be immediately expelled. Which thankfully manages to pull it off whilst breaking a finger. But hey,
remember how I said we'd note the similarities to Naruto? Let's see here. We have an outcast who is different through no fault of his own, who meets up with an elder mentor figure who says that you're part of this great tradition of learning. Where have we seen that before? And now we're dealing with a test by a mysterious shadowy figure who wears dark colors and is threatening to expel them if they get the test wrong. Yeah, I guess Kakashi has never done anything like that, like the bell test. Oh, wait!
Well, my advantage here is having not seen Naruto, so
yeah, that
it's
is
all
an
new
advantage.
to me.
That is a definite advantage.
All I know of Naruto is from the abridged series.
Okay, that's...
And even then, it's been a while.
Yeah, no. Also, no. Yeah, so he says, no, Izuku. I know that if you use your full strength, you'll turn your arm into rubber. I won't let you do that. If I think you're going to, then I'll stop you, and you'll fail immediately. So he just channels all the one for all energy into his finger and uses that to propel the ball.
And it works. So he doesn't get expelled. Yay.
Yeah, but he wrecks his finger, so he has to go back to Recovery Girl. Let's see. Stuff happens. They're introduced to the USJ, which is their version of a combat simulator. This school is confusing in that it's absolutely gigantic.
Yes, everything's big and super.
Like, seriously, this area that they're in, it's like the size of the Magic Kingdom at Disney World.
Just for fighting. I'll just set aside.
Yeah, before that they have a test where Bakugo and Midoriya spar while Uraraka and Ida spar to get hold of a nuclear bomb.
Not an actual nuclear bomb.
Yeah, no. This series is insane, but we're not that insane. Stuff happens, blah, blah, blah. We move over to the combat simulator thingy. And that's where things start to get weird, because all of a sudden, portals start opening up and supervillains start coming out. Yeah, we're introduced to the bad guy, Captain Facepalm, who
Captain
you should be
Facepalm.
looking up.
Oh,
Which is
all right.
his
Well,
name.
you could have done it yourself. All right, let me get it. Captain Facepalm, whose actual name is known on the internet as some kind of a guy.
Shigaraki.
Shigaraki, there he is.
I hate this guy because he is a Final Fantasy fucking villain.
But he is facepalming.
Oh yeah.
It's
his
just constantly-
power, his outfit is a black one-piece suit with lots of hands gripping it all over. I don't mean like, oh, there's like handprints in the black. No, it's actual hands constantly gripping his body.
And one of them on his face.
Yeah,
It's visually distinct. I gotta give him that.
it's visually distinct. Just looks stupid. So where I'm going with this is that this guy, I don't even know how to qualify his motivations. Oh wait, yes I do. They're stupid. He wants to kill All Might. Now you might be thinking that, oh, it's because All Might put his father in jail. All Might stopped him in a scheme. All Might, foiled him in some way. If you think this, congratulations! You put more thought into a good character motivation than the author did. Because this guy's motivation is, I hate All Might, and because he covers the lie that's of safety that shrouds society, that people aren't scum, and I'm going to kill All Might and reveal that everyone is really terrible deep down.
Is that what he said? Because I hardly remember what he said. It was kind of not memorable. I think he's properly creepy, but yeah, it's not like a really detailed motivation.
Yeah, his motivation is literally that of a Final Fantasy villain. See, I don't get It's okay to have a character who's motivated by an ideology. The problem is that you need to have, what is that thing? Oh yes, a reason for your ideology. We haven't heard that yet, so he comes across as a whiny little dickbag.
It is kind of an interesting contrast to the bombastic villain you might expect, like, wahaha, taking over the world. Instead, he's always kind of hunched over, and he's like, alright, we're taking over. Oh, man, they're killing all the henchmen. Damn, I guess I'll walk away now.
Yeah.
And he still kind of can be creepy, even though he's not going all out on you, to kind of like.
Yeah. The problem I have with ideological-based villains is, what do you gain from it? I am going shadows here. I'm going full shadows. What do you want? Do you want money? Do you want the chaos? Do you want to destroy the world? Why? What do you gain from showing people that there is a lie in the system? What do you gain by trying to do what you do? Why do you want to destroy All Might? What do you gain? Do you gain stability? No. Okay, of course not, because you want everyone really afraid and for villains to be roaming the streets, which sounds to me like you want Fallout to exist, which sounds like a terrible idea because roving gangs of mercenaries will fuck your shit up.
Well,
Do you want money? You've mentioned no such thing, and based on, your track record, you could probably walk into a bank and just take the money.
well,
Do you want power? You already have power. What do you want, Shigaraki? What do you want?
I think he wants chaos.
There needs to be a tangible benefit for someone to do something,
Well,
unless they're insane.
which I was
No,
about to
if you're
say,
the
he's
Joker-
kind of a low-grade Joker that way.
But the problem is that unless you go full Joker, full insanity, it's not really that impressive. You just come across as a whiny little emo who's like, I'm sad at the world and I'm going to blow it up because fuck all you people. I'm going to write some fan fictions and then go listen to Nine Inch Nails. Meh.
Now, please don't tell me we're making fun of people with mental problems when you were talking to the guy for being a bully earlier on.
Oh, no, I'm not making fun of people who have genuine mental problems.
Alright.
I'm talking about the people who are whiny little bitches.
Alright, well, the
There
point
is a
is...
difference.
Alright,
If you have genuine
alright,
mental
alright.
problems, I know what depression's like. Trust me, I know. I wouldn't... The problem is that there's regular depression, and then there's, I'm so depressed, I'm going to blow up the world.
Yeah, don't blow up the world. That's a bad move.
But I don't know what he wants.
Alright,
So
alright.
the only options are his motivations are not known, which, why would he keep them hidden? or he's insane, in which case that removes a lot of the threat from him, because he's not doing this because he has some deep, complicated scheme. He's doing it because he's crazy and violent. If I wanted a crazy, violent guy, I'd watch The Joker. He'd at least be entertaining. I mean, yeah, he's threatening, but it's more of an immediate sense rather than a looming threat. It's the difference between a Doctor Doom and the Joker. Okay, I need to stop using the Joker as a reference point, but...
Well, I know what you're saying on that. Anyway, he shows up, and a lot of shenanigans as we try to fight off his goons and get someone to get the word out to other teachers and All Might and stuff to please rescue us.
Okay, and when All Might shows up, it's the first time we ever see him not smiling. He is annoyed.
Yeah.
What follows is easily the best fight in the entire series thus far. All Might versus Nomu, this thing with an exposed brain and a beak.
And it's super strong and super tough.
And it absorbs... it has a shock absorption quirk along with a healing quirk and a super strength quirk. But All Might correctly deduces that's shock absorption, not nullification. So he does the natural thing to defeat it, punches it over 300 times. Now, what ends the fight is him punching the monster off the ground through the air at like a 60-degree angle, punching through the roof and through at least 2 different clouds in the sky.
Yes.
I want you to remember this. It gets bullshit real quick in here. However, that used up all his remaining time that he could be All Might, so Shigaraki is about to try to kill him again, and then my favorite hero comes up. I don't know his name, but he shoots Shigaraki while he's monologuing. This is a guy that I wish was in every anime. When every bad guy starts a monologue about their evil plan, just shoot them. And this guy shoots Shigaraki! He shoots him multiple times, and it's only because of the portal guy that they managed to escape.
Yeah.
It is like easily one of my favorite scenes in the whole anime. Just... I'm sorry, I'm taking too much pleasure at the suffering of this.
I understand. So yeah, he escapes though because of his portal friend, whose power is that he basically is a portal.
Yeah.
But he has got this one like core thing in him inside there.
Wait, so his power is portals. He has a core. And he travels through space. Space. So much space. Space. Space.
Yep. Yeah, that's one guy. Anyway,
so that's the end of this season.
Was that the whole end of the season, or was the? Oh yeah, I guess the sports festival was second season.
Yeah, the second season starts, and they found the police show up, and they're like, "Okay, we're interviewing everyone." Also, we found Nomu on the grounds. Fuck you! That is bullshit.
I think it would have been so much better because they found him like they say
they find him on the grounds. Just from a logistics point of view, we saw him go like miles away. Right. Unless UA is the size of India, you did not find him on the grounds. You said it would be better if...
Oh, well, it would be way better if he punches him out into the sky, and we see, like, later that episode, the news reports being like, oh, yeah, and there was an attack and so forth, and this guy here is pictured, and he escaped, and this guy here was punched out of the building by All Might, and scientists believe he may have entered into a low Earth orbit. They're attempting to track him.
Yeah, see, that is what I expected. Not, oh, we found him just outside.
Well,
Unless you're telling them he orbited the Earth and then re-entered and slammed into the ground.
Well, what I would have loved is they make it like a one-off joke, but like he just got punched so hard he went into space, and everyone kind of laughs at that. And then there's a plot point in season 2 where they've like examined the Nomu and discovered like weird things about him, like he was genetically engineered and stuff. So just before that happens, I would have had everyone just kind of standing around on the grounds. And then there's like a light in the sky, and then boom, and it hits like a full season later.
Yes.
And then the Concretos guy, whatever, like puts him in Cementos puts him in like a cement prison for a second there, while the police actually come by and like properly grab him. And that's when they examine him, and then the next plot point is, by the way, we found out this genetic engineering thing. But he was in orbit for a whole season. That would be so cool.
No. He kept coming down. But he's like a Bumble from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Don't you know the big thing about Bumbles? Bumbles bounce!
No, you know what? I choose to believe that All Might got the trajectory data and would just, like, go take a hike to where he's about to land and just punch upward into the air at the exact moment when the guy's about to come to the ground.
Oh my god, Popeye literally did that in a cartoon once. That was amazing. I loved it. So anything that reminds me of Popeye the Sailor Man is automatically a win. That is great. I love it. Okay, so the second season comes up and everyone's preparing for the sports festival. And if it sounds like I'm disappointed, well, I had some time to reconsider my opinions about the sports festival. I'm still not in favor of it because it's another tournament. I do not like anime tournaments. Look, we all know that the plot points have been set up beforehand by the writers. They know who's going to win or lose. Every time that the Dominion won over the Federation or the Federation won over the Dominion over in Deep Space Nine, the writers determine that ahead of time. Tournaments, on the other hand, are where it really says, yeah, we're not even bothering for a premise here. We're just going to say, this character wins, this character loses, and we hate you.
Wow.
Okay, we don't hate you, but we've lost any premise of, oh, this is a good reason for us to fight.
Right, it can be lazy writing. And the tournament arc did seem to stretch out, in my opinion. But it did end up having some really cool moments.
Oh, yes. Character-wise, this show is awesome. They use the tournament arc to really develop and set up new plot points for all these different characters. Unfortunately, this also includes, who's the hot cold guy?
Todoroki.
Todoroki, a.k.a. Zuko with half his hair dyed white.
Yeah.
Yeah. Whose power is, I am the son of a jackass, and so I have ice powers and fire powers.
Because apparently that's one quirk, even though it's two things.
Yeah. He's like constantly whining about how I need to go my own separate way from my father. Here's a thought. Quit being a hero!
Wow, you don't have to be the exact opposite.
Okay, get a job as a chef. You know? And then, like, use it, like, in one hand I am frying bacon, and in the other, ice cream! Just standing in front of this restaurant, behold, mortals, I am a god!
Among chefs.
No, he's not a god among chefs. He is a god.
Oh, yeah.
I would go to that restaurant. It'd be like medieval times, but better because it'd have a crazy guy.
Okay.
Father, you have entered the realm of chef and cooking. You are such a disappointment. I am aware.
Right. Well, anyway, it makes perfect sense to me that he might still want to be a hero. He just doesn't want to do it on his dad's terms. So he refuses to use his dad's power set, which is fire, and instead
his
uses
father
the ice all
is
the time.
the number 2 hero, and trust me, the number 2 is a great way to describe his dad.
Yeah.
The only thing I really have to say that's positive is I don't think he physically abused him, like outside of the confines of training, but like when you're superhero training, what's abuse and not is
vague.
Also, the massive burn scar on his face, his dad didn't do that. That was his mom.
Yeah, he's got a messed up childhood, which I found very interesting, though, from a character perspective.
Yeah, I didn't.
Well, you called it whiny a moment ago. He actually doesn't whine. He keeps very taciturn about it.
Oh, no, okay. Sometimes I exaggerate for effect, and I apologize for that. That I'm apologizing for. He doesn't like his dad, and he makes no
grand statement about it, besides just living his life and kind of hating his dad from a distance.
Yeah, but, like, do something about it if you hate your dad.
Well, what he's trying to do is to succeed as a hero. I guess maybe what we're trying to get at, if you're trying to get somewhere, is maybe that he could have more traits beyond just that backstory, more roundedness to him.
That would be good. Also, however, it's also portrayed as he only uses half his quirk. That is his sacrifice to spite his father. To which I would like to point out, hey, isn't our main character a guy who had literally no powers, and you're complaining that you can't use one of your 2 superpowers? I'm just saying, that seems a little less sympathetic when you put it like that.
I don't think he was even complaining about it. He was just like, this is what I do it. And then there's a big moment where Midoriya in combat is telling him, like, it's okay to use all your abilities. That doesn't mean you've surrendered to your father's control or whatever. And so he actually uses it in the climactic moment. And okay, so there's some character development there. Todoroki figuring out how he can be emotionally separate from his abusive father and have his own independence, even if they're superficially similar in
You know
certain
what's
ways.
interesting about the abuse? It's emotional abuse, not
Yeah.
physical abuse.
Yeah.
Which, given how big and no, literally, this guy is like 7 or 8 feet tall and has a mustache made of fire.
His dad, yeah.
What the hell? You'd expect him to be physically abusive. No, I mean, well, he might have been, but again,
Not that we were explicitly shown.
yeah, but
But his mom poured the thing on his face and gave him a scar.
okay, yeah, but his dad didn't do that.
Right.
Given Zuko's backstory, I was really expecting that.
So cool for them for sidestepping, huh? Doing something different.
Like this whole plot, the whole sports arc sets up like new characters. Like there's this blonde shit stain. Okay, I know there's a lot of characters I complain about, but there's so many good characters in this that really the bad ones stand out all the more for being bad. This blonde shit stain's sole character trait is, I shit all over class 1A because I'm in 1B. No, that's the only thing he does. He does that every time he shows up. I've checked. Yeah. Okay, so we learn Uraraka, the reason she wants to become a hero is because her parents have a construction company and it's not doing too well, so she wants to use her zero gravity quirk to help them build things and become rich so they can retire to Hawaii. And also, I learned something very important about Japan. Apparently they have small noses.
Is this when you found out? I forgot when that came up. I mean, small compared to the
American,
Anglo-Saxon.
because her dad's
crap.
nose is gigantic.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh yeah, he's an American, so of course he has a big nose. I'm like, wait, what? Then you inform me, oh yeah, didn't you remember that Stinko Man episode?
Yeah.
To which I've had time to think about this, and I have a rebuttal for that now. Stinko Man once declared that he had a rivalry with a stop sign.
Yeah.
He is about as valid a source of information as Hamsar.
Right. Well, that's why he complains that, or mentions that Strongbed has a big nose when Strongbed has no nose at all.
Yeah, okay. How was I supposed to know that was the one piece of factual information that he was spewing out?
Well, yeah, I understand why that would be very confusing, but now you know.
Knowing is half the battle. G.I. Joe!
Why not in this show? And the G.I. Joe showed up. Nah,
Oh, I would like that. So we learn that she's trying to do well because of her parents, and her fight against Bakugo is pretty cool.
Yeah.
She tricks him into exploding everything, and using her zero gravity thing to raise a ton of rubble above the ground, and then dropping on him like a meteor swarm. And then she loses anyway, but you know.
Yeah, she had put up a good fight.
All the fights are actually pretty good. In fact, they extended Momo's fight from the manga, where she just basically lost very quickly. It still wasn't that impressive a fight. Momo is a character who wears skimpy clothing. Here's what's different about her. Even though she's, hot,
Yeah, I know.
yeah, okay, she is underage, but still, she wears skimpy clothing, but there's a reason why she wears skimpy clothing. Her power is that she creates matter from her skin.
Yeah, for once this thing is justified. And she's not treated character-wise like the bimbo or the sex object or the...
She is literally the second smartest or first smartest person in the entire class.
Yeah.
And she said she has to know this because she has to know the chemical compounds that go into the things she makes.
Right,
And
yeah.
having, lots of skin exposed means you can shoot, stuff out of anywhere in their bodies.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really smart. But here's where she starts her character arc of feeling like she's worthless because she got knocked out really easily in the tournament. Then we see that what comes next does not help.
Yeah.
Let's see. Midoriya loses to Todoroki, and then gets precisely one. Okay, wait, hang on. Well, then Todoroki goes up against Bakugo. Bakugo wins. However, because Todoroki didn't go all out against him, he throws a hissy fit that is the ultimate way I've ever seen of being a sore winner, because he didn't fight with his all, to the point where they have to chain him to a post and gag him on the winner's circle.
Yeah.
Oh, good, because this is a character we're supposed to like.
I don't know if we're supposed to like him, honestly. He's just there.
Oh, no. I know if we're supposed to like him.
Really?
The answer is no.
Well, that particular moment was the so ridiculous, it's entertaining thing for me.
It was just... Dude, what the fuck, man? You know, okay, if your person wins and then is so butthurt about winning because it wasn't in the way he'd like, that you have to chain him to a post and gag him?
I know.
Expel this guy and get him psychiatric help.
I know. I said it was ridiculous.
You know what I would love? If, like, the next week, like, the next 7 episodes, it shows him coming to class and he's, like, really nice and quiet. And then, like, in, like, the 8th episode after that, he's like, well, I guess that's really... I'm going to murder you! And then you hear, like, a soft foot sound.
Oh,
and, like, he gets hit in the neck with tranquilizers.
Oh.
And I'm gonna... I'm sorry. I seem to have gotten a little upset. Forgive my outburst.
Oh, wow.
Pure Ritalin. And horse tranquilizer.
Yeah, Ritalin would not... He doesn't have ADD. He has freak out at everything disorder. If that's a thing.
Horse tranquilizer. Knocks the fight right out of him. I wish. No, I
So the point is, Force Special kind of came to an end, and then we move into the hero
internship
kill.
arc.
Oh, the internship arc, right.
The internship arc is different. See, what happened was that heroes from all over are looking at the fights and saying, oh, okay, I'd like to train this hero because it'll look good on their resume. What's bullshit is even though Midoriya won the first round easily, and came and helped bring his team to victory, well, at least not utter failure in the second one, and showing a degree of self-sacrifice and ability to overcome odds in the tournament, one person agrees to take him on as an apprentice. One. And that person is doing it as a favor to All Might. Not because they were impressed by his skill, or his cunning, or any of the other good qualities that he showed in the tournament. Because of All Might.
Yeah, I think you could give him a little more attention than that, but...
Meanwhile, Bakugo, the guy who was chained to a fucking post, yeah, he gets 30. What's interesting about this is we're given, like, brief shots of each of their each of their apprenticeships. Some of them sign up to, like, different places if they didn't get one. Like, Uraraka didn't get an apprenticeship, which is, again, bullshit. She summoned an asteroid field! It didn't work, but fuck you, that is an awesome power! Here's the thing, though. She goes and trains at a guy named Gunhead's dojo. He has guns on his head. That is his power. God, I love this man. But, like, she actually learns at the dojo. Some of the other characters learn how to be punctual and better organized and stuff. Bakugo goes and learns at the feet of Best Genist. His power is that he controls denim.
Yeah.
That is his entire power.
Yeah.
And he doesn't teach Bakugo anything about combat. Instead, basically forces him to comb his hair and be really polite to everyone. So I love Best Genist. He is best hero. Tsuyu is actually one of the more popular characters in the manga, so hers got expanded outwards into pretty much a full episode adventure of her fighting pirates with superheroes on the ocean.
That was neat.
Yeah, it was fun.
And I like they subverted the bit where, you're captured by the enemy and he puts you on the radio and he's like, tell, your commander that everything's fine, otherwise I kill you. And she's like, Commander, everything's not fine! And he's like, what the hell? And then tries to kill her and doesn't work.
Yeah, see, a better way to do that is to have, like, a prearranged code word that...
Yeah.
One thing that I really liked once, there's this fan fiction called Security. It's a worm fan fiction where a guy has captured a villain, and he's a normal guy, and so he calls the superhero police. And the person says, okay, sir, are you all right? If you need help, say, everything is okay, nothing is wrong. If you are okay, say, please help, please help. Which, makes a lot of sense. Because you wouldn't say everything is okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there could be ways of, like, signaling. Then again, how often do you really get captured by pirates?
Yeah.
Then again, they are in the Coast Guard and are aquatic-based heroes, so that's probably one of... So that goes back into, you might want to have that.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Though I am disappointed that none of them spoke in a pirate accent or wore a tricorner hat.
Ah, right.
Yar, ye swabby heroes and your frog apprentice! Hand over your gold doubloons, or I'll make ye walk the plank.
I've got an inkling that no pirate ever talked that way, and everyone just invented that a century later.
Actually, apparently, that's how English was supposed to sound, and then there was, like, this shift in the language, and pirates, because they were so isolated from the rest...
Oh my god.
Look it up, the Great Vowel Shift.
Oh, wow. I'll go check that.
Oh, yeah. Of course, I could be misremembering that.
Okay.
So, I could be wrong there. Let's see. We find Momo, she wants to overcome her perceived uselessness. So, unfortunately, the hero she recruited her for just recruited her because she was pretty and wanted to use her in modeling ads.
And
so
she's
that's
so
a good way to
miserable,
that's a good way to say you're not useless at fighting. Now stop fighting and hold up this makeup. Which, you know, I feel really bad for her about that, you know.
Yeah, so she gets a small plot arc continuing that way.
Meanwhile, Midoriya goes to this guy who I swear came right out of a Mega Man game.
Yeah.
His name is Gran Torino, and he has the power of jet boots and jumping really fast. And he learns how to control his power so he doesn't break every bone. Oh, by the way, he basically wrecked his hands in the tournament. And I mean that literally, as in, Recovery Girl said, stop using your fucking power. If you use it more, your hands will be permanently disabled. Hell, when you see his hands in the future, there are scars on it because he's damaged his hands that badly. It's an interesting subversion of the, oh, you can't use this dangerous forbidden technique, and then people use it and they're like, oh, okay, I guess that's fine then.
Yeah, no, he actually has his limits, so that's neat.
Oh, and Izuku learns how to use his power effectively from a microwave.
Yeah, microwave.
Okay, he previously thought of his power as you need to heat it up, like a microwave. But then he learned that Gran Torino has a turntable microwave that heats things evenly. Mm-hmm. So that is why he's different.
It's a metaphor.
It's a metaphor. It makes sense. I mean, in Izuku's mind. I don't know if it makes sense overall. Then they go and... Oh, towards the end of the sports arc, we started with another mini arc for Ida. Remember how we said he's part of a family of heroes? Well, his brother,
Yeah.
InGen, who makes dinosaur clones.
Ingenium.
Oh.
It was really close.
Yeah. I was going off InGen, the company that sponsored Jurassic Park. Which is really disappointing because I have yet to see one hero in My Hero Academia who has the power to summon dinosaurs.
Oh, wow.
This is also why I say that Worm should have been about the parahuman named Ursa Aurora, because her power is summoning ghost bears to fight for you. Why is Worm not about her? That is the best power ever. Why? You wouldn't need other powers. Why would I need a power to read minds when I could just summon a ghost bear to intimidate him? Tell me the truth or I will summon a ghost bear to literally eat you.
Yeah.
Anyways, his older brother got attacked by a serial killer named Stain the Hero Killer, who has a 4-foot-long tongue and no nose.
And he's...
Okay, it's not really 4 feet long, more like a foot and a half, but still, it's kind of freaky.
It is. A more interesting villain than Captain Facepalm.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Even in universe, he's more popular.
Yeah, that's true.
But we'll get into that when we get to it. So it turns out that the League of Villains attacks with more Nomus, and not the one they had earlier.
Yeah, it turns out they got a whole league of those.
Yep. So they attack this city, and then the city is Hosu City, which is a play on Hoth.
Yeah.
And Ida runs off because Hosu City is also where Stain the hero killer is, and he wants to beat the crap out of this guy who beat up his older, more experienced brother, who's also stronger and smarter than him. This are the best plan evors.
He's highly...
1-1.
Yeah, he's got a very highly motivated there.
Yeah,
doesn't necessarily have a great strategy, but it kind of does work out in the end, yeah.
The only reason Ida survives is because both Midoriya and Todoroki stumble upon him and manage to fight him long enough that other heroes are able to save their asses. Well, no, they beat him.
Yeah, they do punch. They manage to team up enough to finally punch Stain into unconsciousness.
And Stain actually has a insane rationale, but he has a point. He's a villain I like because he has a point. It's not like, I want to expose the lies of the world with my stupid facepalm mask. No, his point is, I wanted to be a hero. I idolize All Might, and I think he does a really great job. I think he should continue to do what he does. The problem is that not everyone is All Might. And I'm not just saying that because I want every person to be a clone of All Might, although that would be cool. He says that because he's seen how shallow and profit-driven and image-obsessed that the hero industry can really be. And after seeing some of the things in the internship arc, that's kind of not hard to...
Yeah, I could see how the internship arc was kind of setting that up.
Like, for example, Best Jeanist and the guy with multiple arms was all about presentation of yourself. Nothing about how to go best on patrol and hunt down villains or learn. Admittedly, the Tsuyu's one didn't do that either, but that was because they were fighting pirates at the time. So I'm willing to cut the people fighting actual pirates some slack.
Because you're fighting pirates now, thank you.
And if you really want evidence of that, look at poor Momo's internship.
Yeah.
Her and the attractive girl from 1B, they didn't learn anything other than how to pose. Yeah. And neither of them wanted that.
Yeah.
They wanted to learn how to be better heroes. That's why they're going to school. They want to learn to be heroes. Stain says that's bullshit, that people aren't treating this heroing business seriously, and so he does the perfectly rational thing and protests.
With the sword.
Sends in letters to the newspaper, makes speeches to city council.
Oh, that's right, he didn't start that way.
Oh wait, no, he doesn't. He kills people.
Well, no, wasn't initially, he as part of his backstory is he tried a more peaceful route, no one would listen to him. So he's like, how about you listen to my goddamn sword?
Ha! Now you have to listen. Oh, wow, you're really listening. You're sitting there totally still and not move. Oh.
Side effects of swords may include...
Okay, wait. Okay. I know how to fix this. Just do what comes naturally. 5 minutes later. No, there are 4 more corpses. Okay, I gotta stop doing what comes naturally. But Stain gives a speech after saving Midoriya from, another Nomu, and is like, yeah, I think that heroing is stupid. Being hero is good, but the hero industry is full of stupid people and vain jackasses. And this catches on in universe. He becomes like the most popular villain in the world, even though he's in prison and is a serial killer. There are people who will buy his mask for fun.
Yeah, that's messed up.
Interesting
from a story standpoint. But
it's like, not like that. Yeah. Okay, after that, they're taken to the hospital, and it's revealed, all 3 of you are going to be arrested if you don't say, oh, these other heroes did this for me.
That was really dumb.
Yeah, because, okay.
The law is you can't use your powers without, permission, but their lives were at risk. It's not like, oh, by the way, you hurt some innocent people while you were doing that, and that's, the reason...
You were being attacked by a serial killer who's known to murder superheroes. That is not like... I'm not being unreasonable when I say that's an okay time to use superpowers.
Yeah, I really should make an exception for that. But okay, so basically they don't get all the social credit for saving things. Freaking Endeavor gets the credit, doesn't he?
Yeah, and Endeavor's an ass.
And Todoroki has to go along with this, and he's
poor
pissed
Todoroki.
Off about it, yeah.
Yeah, so, at worst, Ida should have gotten in trouble because he tried to hunt down the serial killer.
Yeah. Okay, and even that should be, like, understandable, or at least don't give him a prison sentence. Give him less than that.
Yeah, I mean, I think nearly getting killed by a serial killer is enough punishment.
Yeah.
And even, like, put him on probation, maybe, for running off half-cocked. But this guy is so straight-laced that I think that this would be swept under the rug.
I think he'll learn his lesson, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so Stain happened, and that was cool, and he made his speech, and he inspired a bunch of more villains. So that's going to be a problem.
I would have loved it. It was like, yes, Stain has inspired me. Dear editor of the Mustafa District Times, I am disappointed with the current state of heroing. Sir, the letter writing campaign, it's getting insane! Just like totally normal people just inspired by Stain's example in a totally normal way.
Yeah.
It's like, I mean, his words weren't that inspiring, but all these supervillains come out of the woodwork, and it's like, I have been inspired to take up Stain's cause with killing people. I'm like, okay, that seems like an extreme step to take, you know?
Yes, villains.
I'd say a bake sale.
The healer killer bake sale.
Maybe just, I don't know, protest on a street corner.
Maybe they sell, like...
Boycott the heroes that espouse your...
How do you boycott a hero? Stop saving me! Stop it! Stop!
I was going to say, get some signs and do
picket them, not boycott them, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Boycott the heroes. My house is on fire, not you, the other guy.
Okay, so after that, what was
the
next?
practical exams come up.
Oh, the practical exams, because, despite the fact that we've had, all this happen, we haven't seen them do any in-class work.
It's really a lot of tests and not a lot of,
guess that's more interesting to
instruction.
see, but still it's annoying when it's like, oh, we're at it's my main complaint with having schools as the locations for animes. Because not a whole lot of schooling goes on.
Because, schooling...
List me one class that they attended in Beacon.
I mean...
Where they actually learned something.
Yeah, not like sort of sitting down.
Okay, yes, I know that
yeah.
the history class was...
Yeah, that was one, But I know what you mean. It's just hard to make an interesting story out of people sitting in rows and listening to a teacher. You
know what? Code Lyoko actually sort of did this. They'd show, like, a bit of the class and usually would relate to how Xana would attack that day.
Oh, that's nice.
So, it's not... It wasn't, like, bad. You'd just be exposed to a little bit of what was going on that day. But it showed that there was still, like, homework and school and tests.
Yeah.
It wasn't just, this is the place where we happen to exist when we're not out fighting Grimm or robots or the Anti-Monitor.
Yeah, they could easily have added that in, not the Anti-Monitor, but the...
Oh, really? They could easily add... Okay, leaving aside the legal issues. Izuku, we have to fight the Anti-Monitor!
Oh, gosh, that's a hard fight, man.
No, that's a hard fight for DC, and their power level's like a couple levels above this.
Yeah, man. I read that comic. That was epic.
Oh, that was good. Langara covered it last year.
Oh, cool.
And he just covered Final Crisis.
Ah, which I have not read at all. So
it's the sequel
to I know, Infinite Crisis, and then whatever happened next.
Well, it introduces Superboy Prime in the modern incarnation.
Oh, I was gonna say, the wall punching incarnation.
Yeah.
Because that's how Jason Todd came back to life.
That is still fucking stupid.
He punched a wall so hard that Jason Todd came back to life. Okay,
can we just shove him in the source wall and be done with him?
Jason Todd or Superboy
No.
Prime?
Well, okay, yes to both.
Okay.
What? I don't like Jason Todd.
Put Bakugo in there while we're at it. Yeah.
Ooh, yes. Oh, interestingly enough, in the Avengers Justice League crossover, they shoved Doctor Doom in the source wall.
Wow.
In one of the parallel it's in like a parallel reality, so it doesn't really happen.
Okay.
But still,
that's still cool.
They shoved Doctor Doom in the source wall, and he's giant for some reason. I don't know. Okay, the practical exams. Again, we're shown how all these characters have gotten stronger and are using their powers in new and imaginative ways.
Yeah, imaginative being an important thing there, because unlike, say, DBZ, where they're doing the same stuff, or DB Super, where they're doing the same stuff they did 20 years ago, but now the power level is bigger.
But we can't really tell.
We can't really tell. They're just told it's bigger. Now it's like, oh, I can see, Izuku's running around in a different way. He's bouncing off of walls and stuff because he can put just the right amount of power into his legs, and details like that are constantly happening.
Like the various heroes and the various teachers are assigned to these students based on what would be their weak point. Like Cementos versus Sugarman and the skin hardening guy.
Yeah, whatever it was.
I actually like the skin hardening guy. The problem is that I can never remember his name.
Yeah.
Even though one of the jokes about him is that he has a fairly generic power, so that he keeps meeting people with his exact power skill.
Yeah.
Oh, interestingly enough, one of the people who has his power skill named Tetsu 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 Tetsu. The joke being that each character of his name is written with a different kanji, so his name is actually something like Iron Professor Philosopher something.
Okay.
But it's just it's like someone being named there.
Yeah. It's homophones.
Yeah. Wait, hang on.
Oh, you're looking for this guy's name?
Ah.
Well, I don't know.
There he is. Tetsu.
Alright, freaking this guy.
Oh, it's that guy. He's the guy with Snowflame eyes.
Oh yeah.
Unfortunately, Snowflame is not in My Hero Academia.
Oh my god, be
which
so
is
weird.
a shame because that would be amazing.
Oh my gosh, Snowflame. Okay.
All Might, you come into my jungle. Cocaine is my god, and I am the human instrument of its will.
Oh my
you
God.
have one for all. I have cocaine.
Oh my god.
That would be great.
So anyway.
No, seriously, that is the best villain that has ever been come up with by DC. Forget the Anti-Monitor. I want Snowflame to return.
He's the wildest thing I've ever heard of. Alright, Ace and DC.
Okay, so, like... Oh, and by the way, Sugarman, his power is that he gets super strength after eating sugar.
So, he eats a lot of sugar, I'm guessing.
Oh, yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah, like, they're paired up against Cementos, who is a hero who can make walls and is basically an earthbender from Avatar. Because their strength doesn't last too long, they fail, but it shows how they're paired up against heroes who are pretty much their exact opposite.
Yeah.
To show how they can overcome them. Like Uraraka and Frenchy Naval Laser Sparkle Dude.
Oh.
And I really wish... I Can't Stop Twinkling is his
Aoyama.
name. Aoyama, their power is basically, I can jump in the air and then my power will keep me in the air. They're basically mobility heroes, and they're fighting a person who is a living black hole.
Yeah. So, interesting the way that works out.
Yeah, and it turns out that they won because they overcame those odds. Though here's my question about these teachers. They're all in the prime of their lives. They're all well-known heroes. Why are they teaching?
Keeping instead of heroing all day?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that teaching isn't an important profession. I'm not saying that experienced heroes shouldn't teach the children. Why not have heroes that are old and not needed to patrol the streets? I mean, this is my complaint about All Might being a teacher, because he only has a limited amount of time per day that he can actually be All Might.
Well, wait, that actually makes sense in his case. He is the old guy that can't be patrolling all day because he has a limited amount of time.
Yeah, but people still expect him to save the day.
Yeah, that's true.
They don't know that he only has a limited amount of time.
Well, this
The
could be
other
a
teachers,
convenient
they're-
excuse. Yeah.
They're of the age where they should be doing it. Wouldn't it have be more compelling, like at the simulator place, if it was like a bunch of old heroes, like the Justice Society, but aged realistically, fighting off the villains to show we're old, we might not be able to patrol as much anymore or do as much, but we can still kick ass.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, that could have been good.
Plus, it would serve to show that the League of Villains is so pathetic that they got their asses beat by a bunch of senior citizens.
Oh, yeah, I suppose that's too.
But yeah, just their position here doesn't really make sense. Also, there is someone called the R-rated hero.
Oh, yeah.
Who's dressed entirely in fetish and bondage gear and is a woman.
Yep.
And she gets into a fight with Mount Lady, a woman who grows really huge. And apparently, Mount Lady calls the R-rated hero Christmas Cake. I looked this up. And here's why Japan makes no sense to me. Because Christmas cake is apparently a special type of dessert that you have at Christmas. But after Christmas, you're not supposed to eat it. Because no one wants it because it's not Christmas time. It's used to refer to a woman who is past her prime and thus isn't desirable anymore.
Specifically the age of 25. Because Christmas.
Now, here is my question. Why the fuck don't you want Christmas cake after Christmas? It's cake! It's cake! Cake is delicious! What is wrong with your nation, Japan? Japan! It's called cake! Why don't you eat it? What do you have against cake, Japan? What do you have against cake?
I would just like to see you show up at the UN or something. If we do our own show, that some guy would be like yelling at Japan for not eating cake.
God damn it, Japan! Yeah, sure, America's maybe obese. That's because we know what cake is. And we know when to eat it. Whenever the fuck we have cake.
Yeah.
Unless it's fruitcake, in which case I can totally understand not wanting to eat it.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming that it's not fruitcake because no one willingly eats fruitcake. Okay, very few people willingly eat fruitcake, because I've heard of some good fruitcakes. I've tasted like 1 or 2 good fruitcakes in my life. But still, though, unless that bitch is moldy, you eat that fucking cake. End the discrimination against cake.
Also women, yeah.
Oh yeah, also women. Yeah, women too. End cake discrimination. Little sticky note. Women too.
Okay. Anyway.
Yes, you can tell where my priorities are.
Cake.
I'm gonna be the 40-year-old version. That's gonna be describing me because I'm competing for cake rights.
Okay.
Also, seriously, this lady's hot, and she's probably really nice. So
yeah, no need to worry about anything. But yeah, they got in an argument at one point.
Okay, so it ends and it's revealed that they're all going to this summer camp later.
Yeah, even though some of them failed the practical exam, but you get to come along anyway, just with additional homework or something.
Yeah, but
so,
isn't bad.
Yeah. And somewhere in the mix there, All Might informs us about his nemesis without actually saying the nemesis's name. But this guy,
his name
Sensei,
is All for One.
His power is All for One.
Yeah, but people often refer to him as that.
Yeah,
as well,
he doesn't because they haven't gotten a name yet. Anyway, that guy is out there, and he's apparently behind the League of Villains.
Okay, it reveals that... Remember that war we said, how this is the post-apocalypse? The reason why we're not in space right now on Mars and in other places like that is because All for One had a quirk that allows you to steal other people's quirks. So he went and he said, okay, I'm going to start stealing people's quirks and giving them to other people and forming my loyal army of minions. And this kicked off World War III, knocking us back 200 years. The problem is that he's still around 300 years later.
He's probably got a quirk for longevity.
Yeah, probably. Although given what we've seen of him, he's in a life support chair like what Redman Man and Blutarch Man have in the Team Fortress comics. So maybe he's stuck on this life support thing.
Yeah.
It's also revealed that that's how he makes Nomus, by giving normal people 3 different quirks. Their brains can't handle it. It's also revealed that this is how One for All got it started. The first person who had it was given a super strength quirk, an energy collection quirk, by his brother. Because his brother didn't have a quirk and he thought, oh, this will make you beholden to me. Twirl my mustache. But it turns out that guy had a quirk whose only purpose was to pass along the quirk to other people. So totally useless quirk then. But that fused with the energy collection one, and it's been getting stronger over the generations. All Might actually defeated All for One years ago, but it looks like he's coming back now.
Dun dun dun.
The last episode in season 2 shows them going to the mall that's named after Kashyyyk, and Shigaraki shows up and spends most of the time with his hand wrapped around Itsuku's neck, saying his crazy bullshit about how All Might is terrible and everyone is a liar and I could murder everyone and typical Final Fantasy bullshit.
I found it pretty creepy.
Oh, it is absolutely creepy.
All right, cool.
It's just that I don't find it intimidating or compelling as a reason for him to do shit.
Well, anyway, that brought us to the end of season 2. So overall, the show's got a lot of spirit. It's got some creativity.
Oh,
some
a lot of
interesting characters. A few things dragged on too long. Sports festival arc was still good by the end, but it was sort of like, hey, how many more episodes of this? At some point in the middle there. Bakugo's freaking ridiculous, like I mentioned, but oh well. Sometimes it's funny.
Yeah, sometimes. I still can't get over kill yourself.
Yeah, I know. That's honestly, I just put that out of my mind or something. It's not okay to say that. We kind of sad this stuff. And,
Yeah, I don't know when the next season's coming out. I've read
the internet says April, so soon.
Good. So we'll cover that when it comes out.
All right, cool.
Yeah, it's
Do you have anything
unique,
else?
and yeah, we really like it. I think we said everything
Good.
we can say.
Yeah.
I might bitch a lot, but it is a really good anime, and you should see it.
Yeah, I'd like it.
Anyways, are we done?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm Sith King.
I'm Soxons.
We're signing off.